Hi everyone, Jaymes Mansfield here bringing you yet another video. Oh my god, it's yet another episode of Iconic Blondes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to do another episode of Iconic Blondes. Now today's blonde, everyone has been asking me for quite a bit, so I decided why not kill two birds with one stone? Because I need a new wig like this anyway. And we need to do her for Iconic Blonde, so we're just gonna get her out of the way now. We are doing none other than Anna Nicole Smith. Yes, the legendary, the iconic, the one and only Anna, fabulous Anna Nicole. Yes, legendary, iconic Playboy model, actress, guest model. She was also a reality television pioneer, one of the first celebrities to basically open their life up to people. We are honoring Anna Nicole today. Gone way too soon. We miss you, Anna. Now, what I'm using here is our Misty Blonde Premium Wig. Yes, she is gorgeous. This is the 613 model. We should have these back in stock soon. We also have other Misties coming that are in different colors. Now, fabulous, fabulous. Let's get started. First things first, I have to cut a little bit of the hair because Anna Nicole's hair is a little longer. It's essentially like a longer Marilyn, Jane Mansfield-esque, but classic 1950s, but like the 90s remembers the 1950s. That's kind of like the vibe they're getting with Anna Nicole when they're doing her guest modeling. And that is exactly what we're gonna try and channel today is, you know, the guest model, Anna Nicole. I remember seeing these ads, like they used to have old magazines in my house. You could see the ads for Guess jeans with Anna Nicole in them. And they were known in the 90s for having like some of those beautiful supermodels and women in the world modeling for Guess. Like they had a very specific image they liked to put off. It was very like old Hollywood glam. So like you'd see like Cindy Crawford and Anna Nicole and all these gorgeous models, like Elle McPherson. And they're always like done up to the T. Like we're talking like full Kevin Aquan, just like beat, super beat makeup. Like they were going for full on like drag queen 1990s supermodel makeup when it came to Guess jeans. And they're always in like black and white. It was really, really chic. Like old Hollywood meets like down in the country kind of vibe. Because they're always in like jeans and, you know, tied up tops and on a farm or in a barn usually. Yes, I remember them well and being obsessed with them. Like long before I even like had an old Hollywood obsession, I remember watching them. And like the most gorgeous women in the world used to be guest models. Like if I were around, I imagine I would be a guest model. Yeah, I think I would. Can you imagine just like black and white? They always had faces like that. They're like, oh, like looking at it now, I guess it's kind of camp, like the way they're setting it all up. But I adored it. And even like if you remember wrestling fan Sable, she was a guest model. Like they had a very specific type. It was like voluptuous vixens, just trimming the bottom because it has to be a very specific length. It can't be too long, especially with Anna Nicole's hair at this time. It was kind of like short and manageable because they were channeling like a Marilyn Monroe kind of thing with her, which makes sense because Anna Nicole adored Marilyn Monroe. Like some might say she was obsessed. At one point, she was even sleeping in Marilyn Monroe's house. Like J. Howard Marshall was renting it for her. Now, Anna Nicole, it's kind of a sad story. I have to say, like, there are very happy moments, but a lot of it is like in today's lens, you can't help but feel a little sorry for her, like the way she was treated. Because honestly, all she really did was just exist. And people had such a big problem with her. Now, Anna Nicole is from Texas, born Vicki Lynn. And she was discovered in, well, let's just say a gentleman's club. Yes, she was discovered in a gentleman's club. And from there, she went on to marry a famous tycoon, J. Howard Marshall, like one of the richest men in America, like oil money, honey. Like that is rich. Like we're talking, you know, so much money, more than they know what to do with. But he was really, really old. And the public didn't quite know this about her at that time. This is stuff that came out a little later about her. But like from there, he used his connections to get her set up with different kind of things. Like they submitted her pictures to Playboy. And from there, she just exploded. She was Playmate of the Year, I think, or maybe the month. I believe she was Playmate of the Year. I'm pretty sure, yeah, she was. Because that's the famous picture of her on the cover in like the green dress, just like with the crown, like Miss America. Yes, she was. I do remember this. And like for good reason too, because like Anna Nicole was gorgeous. She's like an Amazon, so tall, long legs. It was like a Barbie doll come to life. Like Hugh Hefner must have went gaga when he saw her. Because like her measurements and everything were out of this world. It was very just like, if you are with the male gaze at that time, you were a big fan of Anna Nicole Smith. All right, that's kind of the length we want. Like a manageable length like that. Okay, now, she had what I call like a very severe, almost like a comb over. Like it was very much like referencing that 1950s flair. Very Marilyn, but also like a little bit of Jayme Mansfield thrown in there. You could tell like she must have liked all the blondes. Like she wanted to like all of them. And I don't know what it is. Just like, I remember when like they had news programs talking about Anna Nicole Smith, like there'd be segments and they'd be so disparaging, but I don't know what it was. I just was fascinated by her. And I didn't care that she was, you know, married to a really old guy. Like that didn't bother me. And if she said she loved him, she loved him. You know, like, it's all up for debate. You don't really know what happened behind closed doors. But, you know, it's all in the past now. And honestly, she's dead. So just let it be. She had success outside of that and tried her best to have a career as much as she could. Because remember, in the 90s, there wasn't a whole lot that was there for her to do. Okay, now we're just going to brush through this to get the kind of direction we want. Because with this hair, it's very important where you go with the direction. It all plays into itself. It's almost not kind of there, honestly. We just need to add a bit more of a wave. Yes! Okay, so let's start rolling it. Now, one thing that's so fascinating about Anna Nicole Smith is like, she was approached to basically open her life up to the world. She's one of the very first like celebrities to get their own reality show, like pioneering the whole genre of reality. Like it was unheard of to open your life up to that point and just be so raw and just let people see every aspect of you. She didn't care if she looked foolish or not. It's like she was just enjoying herself. She was a party girl to the end. And it used to be fascinating. Like, I remember she had like Christmas parties where like all these like C and D-list celebrities would come, like Andy Dick, Kathy Griffin, like Margaret Cho. There was that famous scene at the Christmas party episode where her and Margaret Cho just make out with each other. Oh my God, iconic. And she had like a whole little film career going. Now, I'm curious, I don't want to seem mean. She wasn't the greatest actress, but she had a presence, like she had a persona. And you could tell she definitely wanted to be a better actress. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it was the persona, like Skyscraper, that one's rough. That's a hard one to get through. It's definitely a camp fest if you love campy action films where Anna Nicole is the lead and defending, running around with a gun and everything. Oh my God. It is camp. It is high camp. If for that makes it a great movie in my book. But the critics did not care for it. But that's the thing about her is like a lot of her is so high camp and there's so many fun things about her that like they kind of distract away from all the negative. And sadly, like I feel like a lot of the negative stuff that came about her, like people really attacked her for her weight, which is like something that Hollywood tends to do a lot. You notice that like if someone gets famous for being known for being a very, you know, demanded body type, like Anna Nicole Smith was basically advertised to be the ultimate male fantasy, like Playboy Playmate of the Year, like that kind of vibe. So after everything had happened with Jay Howard and she was going through lots of depression, she had gained a lot of weight. And public was merciless to her. And that tends to happen with a lot of actresses and models whenever they gain a little bit of weight. Like, they're the same to Kirstie Alley, Elizabeth Taylor, Dolly Parton even. Like, anytime people gained a little bit of weight, they really would just go in on them. And she was no exception. Like, she was the butt of a lot of jokes. And she eventually had lost all the weight and credited it to the Fitness Pills Trim Spa, which, to be honest with you, is that even around anymore? Like, is it like Stacker 2 or one of those like supplement pills that like people thought was a magic pill? Like, I don't, do they even exist? Do they even work? I don't know. But they used Anna as the spokesmodel. I always kind of question the legitimacy of it, but you know, to each their own. If that's what worked for her, you know, she says so, okay. But I was always fascinated by it because like, it was one of those iconic moments where You're watching television. Spike TV, especially, I remember it showed a lot on Spike TV because of wrestling. They always played a lot. And you see this big, like, Hummer stretch limo, like white. And then suddenly all you hear is the crowd going, Anna, Anna, oh, Anna, how'd you do it? And she just turns around with her figure and says, trim spa, baby. It's right up there with Where's the Beef, okay? It's iconic. She gave us a lot of iconic moments. Like, as far as iconic television commercials go, Trim Spa is up there. It's the only thing people know about Trim Spa is the commercial. No one knows what the hell it is. If anyone down there has taken Trim Spa or knows it, let me know what it does. Because I was always curious. I just thought it was like, isn't it like a diet pill supplement or something? Like, I don't know what it does. Genius marketing. Genius marketing. And believe it or not, like after she had lost a lot of the weight, it only got crazier from there. At the VMAs, where she made, you know, she was having a lot of fun. And she was just, before even memes even, everyone was talking about how she was acting a fool at the VMAs, just clapping her hands. All right, well, I'm going to get her all rolled up and I'll be right back and we'll start styling. All right, welcome back. The hair is all steamed and rolled and curled and beautiful. Look at those gorgeous, bouncy 50s barrel curls. Yes, oh my goodness. I love me a roller set, as you already know. I'm just gonna bring my brush through it some, just to get a little directionality going. Now, I could possibly just style it as is like that and just basically go with it, but Anna Nicole, as far as the 90s hair goes, it had sort of like a bigness to it. Like, it was referencing the 50s, but it was definitely big 90s, like, you know, bombshell hair. And this is what set Anna Nicole apart from other models of that time. Like, it wasn't like Pamela Anderson or any other big blonde at that time. Like, sex symbol wise, Anna Nicole had sort of like a throwback elegance to her. It was like modern vintage, the way her like style aesthetic was made up from. It was always pulling references from like the iconic blondes in the 1950s. Definitely the atomic period was something she was referencing a lot. And her hairdressers, especially in Guess Jeans, pulled from a lot with her. And she really stood out for that reason alone, because like she was a big, full-figured woman. She was very, very tall, gigantic woman. Like I said, like she was like an Amazon, and people were obsessed with her. Like, you understand, when she had launched on the scene with Guess Jeans, she had truly created like a whole monster of fame following her. I believe there's like famous stories about how she had billboards over in Europe that were causing traffic accidents because people were so distracted from looking at them. And like, she modeled on billboards for H&M. You could tell just from watching clips of her and everything, she loved being famous. Like, she adored it. Look at her, she came from nothing. So like, she immediately got very successful very, very quickly. And a lot of people just telling you everything is great. You don't surround yourself with people that have your best interest at heart. One of my best takeaways from Anna Nicole is like, I really just enjoy the spirit of Anna, you know? Like, I don't pay much attention to like the personal life or anything like that, because honestly, it's like, it just makes you sad. Like, it depresses you. It's one of those stories like people, a lot of people took advantage of her, and she ended up very used a lot of the time. And a lot of people, users like surrounded themselves with her. So it's like, ugh, it's not very fun to delve deeper into that. You just enjoy the art that she gave us and the moments. Lots and lots of great moments with her. What I'm doing here is I'm essentially just adding volume to it because we're gonna brush through all of it. It was sort of like the 80s meets 90s meets like modern vintage remembering the 50s. Like, there's so many references going into her hairstyle. And like, what was so cool is it so much set her apart from all the other models at that time. Like, no one looked like her. Like, she truly had like, I don't know, a Jaymes Mansfield-esque kind of approach to her, where like, it was like a cartoon character come to life. Like, she was this larger than life person. And like, you can go back and watch old clips of her. It's like the best, the most enjoyable clips where you can tell she's genuinely the most happy and just excited for her career are like the very early clips when she was in Guess Jeans and doing the talk show circuit. Like, she had just done Hudsucker Proxy and she had blown up everywhere as a guest model. And it was long before like Scandal sort of rocked her. Because honestly, her career was really hurt by Scandal. And it was really hard for her to recover it from that. Because when you really examine it, the worst thing she really had done was she had married someone that was much older than she was. And that's in the eye of the beholder. It was a very, very, very closed-minded time. It still is. People were not open-minded to that marriage and were not even remotely interested in like entertaining her side of the story. It was whatever made a great headline. All right, we are jacking her up. I'm going to continue teasing her out, and I'll be right back, and we'll start our styling. So I'll be right back. Woo! All right, we are back. Now I have the hair all teased out, and she is teased Texas style, baby. She is gigantic. Now we're just gonna go through and start smoothing it out and start shaping her. We got our front bang section, y'all. We're just gonna shape out like that and work our way around the front. Because like I said, it's like a comb over the way she does her hair. Let me see if I can lock this a little bit. There we are. Now she's locked. Start smoothing it back. That's like Marilyn Monroe meets Jane Mansfield meets Cindy Crawford meets Miss America, Miss Texas. Very that, like, very beauty pageant hair too, when Anna Nicole would do her hair like this. I used to love this like 90s meets the 50s kind of aesthetic because it was like the big hair, but like a little messier, like a little more like voluptuous, like dreamy, the way they used to set her hair. And naturally, it's hair that I know how to do quite well. It's a hairstyle that is in my fingers. I know exactly what to do to get it. And I love, 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 love these pictures of Anna. Like, she is so beautiful in them. And it's such like a different time to think about, you know? Gets you nostalgic. Like, I remember looking through the magazines and seeing it. Like, I don't know, something about Anna, her pictures, when you see them, like the vintage ads, it hits different, you know? She was fabulous. Not to mention, she was extremely gay friendly. She was a part of the community. She never strayed away from it. She always opened it up with open arms to the gay community. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Brush out on this is gonna be severe. Doing some heavy duty brush out on this. Oh yeah, she's already starting to come together. Like, she had this thing where she pulled the hair back like that a lot and let it like rest like that. So I may have to like steam it a little bit just to get that kind of look. Because it's always pulled back behind the ears some. It's like the hairstyle is always referencing like every blonde. Like every single blonde's looked like it was put into this somewhere. Like it had Jane Mansfield's length, Diana Dore's little like touches, Marilyn's flick. And the makeup definitely was referencing Marilyn. Like she had her eyebrows done almost exactly like hers whenever she did the Guess ads. Because Anna Nicole Smith was a huge Marilyn fan. Once I get it to the general shape that I want, I'm probably just gonna come back with the final result. Because a lot of it is just primping around and poking around with the hair. And it takes a long time just to sit there and just like, That's generally all you're doing. It's just trying to get the directionality going. And it takes many, many brush strokes. Consult my reference photo again. Not that I really need to, but like the image of her and her hair is kind of burned into my memory anyway. But it's always good just to consult. Oh yeah, definitely. It's like her hair is like almost flicked back in that side, like wind blown almost. And like she loved her a messy curl. So we're not gonna shy away from that. Like we're gonna encourage those curls. I remember the wildest thing that I remember from Anna Nicole is after she had passed, they actually made an opera about her. And it had this really haunting trailer that was really effective. It was very, very evocative in getting a reaction out of you. It's like, oh gosh. Like an opera seemed appropriate, you know? Yeah, they had that trailer where like it goes through every stage of her life and shows it just from her like perspective, her eyes. And it was really, really, really effective. It was a well done commercial. We're just about there. It just needs to get cleaned up a little bit, but she's coming together. Like it's coming off like how Anna's hair used to be. Put some hairspray in. It's like this hairstyle, it probably takes people a little longer. For me, it takes me like 20 minutes to do it because I've done it so much. Like I love these callbacks, like 1950s hair. And especially with like when you like reference the 90s with it, you don't have to worry so much about being like pristine and like rock solid, super put together. Because like Anna's hair never was. It was referencing that, but it was more like a free moving 90s style. It was the set look without it being set. Because like when you look at those old 50s hairstyles, baby, like Jane Mansfield's hair, it does not move. Like, nothing around this is a helmet. Just like the ends just move a little bit side to side, but it's a solid piece. It's like a video game character's hair. Anna Nicole Smith, her hair always had movement. And it's okay to go through and just play around and let the curls encourage them. Because that's how hers was. Like she loved the curls. Again, like the curls is what add the bounciness to it. Whereas we're not focusing too much on making it look like solid piece. Hers were more just like You know, I'm just rolling around having a good time. Okay, let's see how her flick was. I think hers was more cut into a bang. It wasn't more of a long piece. Yeah, it was more of a flick. Her flick was more of a bang. So we're gonna trim a little bit from this. Piece that together. You're kind of getting the shape going right there. Push it down. Because it's a lot of volume in the bang. Okay, work the end. There it is. Yeah, I just gotta clean it up a little bit, but we essentially have the hairstyle. Like, yes, Jaymes, Anna Nicole Smith hair was very much like this. I just gotta shape it to my head, and I'll be right back with the final result. Welcome back. This is the final result. Oh my God, we made beautiful duets. I love it. It is very like Anna Nicole Playmate of the Year hair. Like very much that. Such a good reference. I am living. Oh my God. I always thought she looked so pretty with hair like this. Oh, I have to take a moment. A Venmo where I thank everyone who's tipped me on Venmo. I would like to thank Sergio, Patrick, Sergio again, as well as Steven, as well as a cash appetizer from Sean and Larry, as well as some YouTube super thanks from Vanessa and Tony. Thank you all so much for the tips on Venmo, the cash appetizers, and the YouTube super thanks. Oh my gosh. Now this was so much fun to do. I adored this hair. It also like, it's hair I wear quite often. Like you already know this. I like to think of this as like my downtime hair. You know, like when I don't have my hair in a high ponytail or anything, like an updo. This is like my hair relaxed in a more relaxed style. Oh my goodness. It's my character's telling a story right now. When she doesn't feel like doing her hair, she wears her hair like this. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye. Oh, in case you didn't know, my new handle is La Chica Dorada. Yes. Paulina Rubio is not using it anymore, so it's mine now. Sorry. Not sorry. Adios. Now hit the outro. Click here and watch a domestic goddess and a hairy himbo make a gummy bear margarita. Or see my last iconic blonde. It was Tiffany Valentine from the Chucky franchise. Come on, click it. You know you want to. If you don't click it, I'll make sure Halloween never comes again. So click it.